What's good? What's happening? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this or listening to this. We missed y'all.
Hi. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
For real.
Yeah, sorry for the inconsistency. I am Cousin P. That's May May. This is the Happy Hour podcast, where today we are happy because we've been rested. We took some well-needed breaks, and we're going to take another break too, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, we here.
Well, we're learning and getting used to this. This is our first season, so.
Yeah, and we're just to kind of speak on it a little bit. I did mean to kind of add it into the last episode, but I don't know. I didn't. So if you were listening or watching the last episode, you probably noticed me and Megan got a little heated during that episode.
It was a little tense.
It's not her fault. It's not her fault at all. It definitely, I'll take 100% blame on that because I was really dealing with a lot of shit. I really was, and I kind of just took it out on her. But I do want to just, say, Megan, I value you. I'm not just saying that because the camera's rolling. I do. Mm-hmm. And I felt hella shitty afterwards. So I do apologize if you felt, some type of way afterwards.
I didn't, because I figured something was wrong because you and I never, ever fight or argue. So it's pretty normal, but for us not to fight. So I just figured something was wrong.
Yeah.
But I didn't take any offense to it. It was intense though.
It was.
I
had to watch that video back multiple times and just look at my behavior. And it was kind of like stupid. So
don't be too hard on yourself. It was a good debate.
Yeah. Actually, in all actuality, it was. But the emotions got too flared. And, honestly, guys, I know a lot of people out there like clown about people doing podcasts ever since 2020 and shit. And now everyone has a podcast and everyone kind of thinks it's easy. It's really not.
It's not.
Podcasting is not easy.
You have to have a lot of dedication.
It's not just dedication, but these topics that we talk about, you have to care about them. And oftentimes there's like that in between where you really care about something a little too much, and then your personal feelings get too involved. And you have to make sure you still treat the other person across the way well.
React well and everything.
Yeah. And I've heard so many podcasts where people get into them with their friends, and then, they have that one heated moment, and then their friends they're not friends anymore.
That's not going to happen.
It's a lot of hard work. So, but first off, thank you everyone for watching, everyone for listening. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube, and make sure you leave a review if you're listening to us on the streaming services. But let's go ahead and jump into last week's menu. Okay. So the heated conversation that took place. What were we talking about, bartender? What was this heated discussion that caused me to
that caused all that strife?
Oh fuck! You even tried to calm me down a couple of times, bartender. I heard you. Well, yeah. What was the question? What were you talking about?
The question was, do you believe in unconditional love?
Yes. Now, the argument wasn't so much about whether or not you believed in unconditional love or I believed in it, because I think we both kind of believed that, no. But the difference was I was real definitive about it. I don't believe anyone can have unconditional love. And you were like, well, I couldn't have unconditional love, but someone else could.
I do believe there's unconditional love. The argument we got in was, what really got heated was the whole, what love is. And I was like, love's a feeling and actions. And you were like, nope, love is just actions. So, I disagree with that, and it kind of got heated. But no, we were opposite on that. For me, I don't think I could do unconditional love because I couldn't be with someone who would cheat on me. And I feel like, but that's kind of hard though, because that's kind of like a standard. Anyways, I say yes, there's unconditional love, and you say no. And
I say no, just because I think that once again, I think everybody has a limit, and at the end of the day, I come first all the time. So if you're my parent, loved one, whoever, even child, and there is a place that you can go where like you will get cut off. Like, and it's not a place that's easily obtained. Let's put it out there. It's not a place that's easily obtainable. Like, you got to really, really intentional be a menace. You know what
For
I'm
you
saying?
to be like, I'm done. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Oh yeah, like you have to really like be after me, you know, and that's really what it comes down to. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and like, you know, I'm not gonna stand in fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna stand in the way of bullets that are coming at me, and you know, ain't nobody else going jump in the way of them.
You
Like,
gonna
fuck that.
hey? So you gonna stand in front of a bullet if someone? What if someone was shooting at Jasmine?
Jasmine ain't hurt me, but if she's the one shooting the bullet, expecting me to like to jump, nah, I'm not gonna jump in the way of someone who's trying to hurt me. Who's trying to?
So you wouldn't stand in front of her and defend her? Would you be like in the hospital room just looking at her and be like, "Oh, babe, I'm so sorry.
Should have shot that
I should
bullet.
have been faster."
Oops.
Dude, you just go slow motion. Just
I'm joking. I was gonna that's gonna get me in trouble. You know, it's so
you brought
funny.
up the situation.
I know. You know what I think though? Like, not to like go too much on a tangent on this. I think jumping in front of a bullet is nice in theory. I do. I think. Okay, first off, one, if you've never had a gun pulled on you, I just don't feel like you could really speak too much on this. I've had a gun pulled out on me. I've had a gun pulled on me twice. And I'll tell you, there is nothing more paralyzing than looking at the fucking barrel. I mean, just an accidental pull of the trigger, a fucking sudden movement, you know, like that's it. Boom. This ain't no fucking cartoon. You can't just jump out the way and you gonna dodge a bullet. Like, this ain't the Matrix. That shit gonna hit you, ain't gonna hurt, ain't gonna take your life. It's scary.
No, I get it. I've had a situation where I've been in, like, I had a guy pull a gun out in a situation like this. We were outside.
Oh yeah.
Didn't want to be there, first of all. So we were all outside. This guy walks by, just walking by, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy out front just pulled out his gun and was like, hey, started yelling at him. And I was like, okay,
Yep.
I need to leave this situation.
Oh, you wasn't jumping in front of the bullet for nobody?
I didn't even.
You
We're
wasn't
not going there. We're
"I'll
not
save
going.
you."
First of all, that night was crazy. I don't want to go with. We're not going there.
Yeah.
We're not going there.
Okay.
No.
All right. Bartender, what are the results? Now, wait, before you get into results. So, right now, the score is 2-1. Okay. We're playing a game to 3. If
This is intense.
I get my third one, this is what's going to happen. Okay. Next episode, we will be announcing a winner. And the winner is going to get $100. Okay. But you have to make sure that you are a subscriber and you have to make sure that you have commented. And as far as I know, there's like 4 people eligible. 4. So the odds are like, if you start commenting, that's like 1 out of 5. So, you know.
I mean,
but that's if I win today, you know.
but you're not going to. We're not going to, so we don't have to worry about that. Bartender?
Are you guys sure you're ready?
I know I'm ready. Drum roll, please.
Well, the winner is both of you.
Did it tie?
It's a perfect tie.
It's a
23 to
perfect
23.
tie.
So, do you want to both get a win or
You know-
nobody gets a win?
You know, it's hella funny. We never talked about
A tie.
what happens if it ties.
I'm always right. So this is
Right.
so weird for me.
You know, okay, let's do it like this. Saying, I'm sure you guys are probably like now like voting like, oh shit, yeah, like both of you guys get a point, and then that'll make me the automatic winner.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna bust your bubble. I'm gonna make an executive decision right here on the spot. It is
And no
not
point.
gonna.
No one gets a point.
It's nullified. So, and not saying that this was something that was attempted or this is what we were trying. We're going to episode 23. This is episode 21. So really the last 2 episodes are going to be the deciding episodes. Yep. So
Okay, I'm gonna win.
sorry.
I'm gonna figure it
You
out
should
and
have
I'm gonna
voted.
win.
You should have voted. You should have been paying attention to my Instagram.
Hold on,
And,
let me recheck. Let me recheck to
she's
see if
gonna
anyone else.
She's gonna recount. Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
The
I am.
polls are closed. Polls are closed.
Yeah.
Bartender, I don't remember
Polls are
anyone
closed.
asking
You see this?
you.
It
It didn't change, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the main course. Okay. So you actually sent me some interesting stuff on Facebook. One of the things, okay, so the first one I wanted to talk about because it's kind of like out there. Okay. Now you pulled this from another podcast, and basically the topic was the double standards of the body count are fair. That was the topic, right? And I actually think the person they were arguing with was Brittany Renner, right?
I think
So. I forget what she looks like. I only know where she looks like from one angle, but the face hit the angle.
You
I know.
can't ask me because I'm horrible. You're mean. Yeah, I'm horrible with names, so I don't quote me on that.
Anyways, so the argument that they were making in the video. Now you've watched the video, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the argument that they were making in the video was basically that. So Brittany Renner was saying that, as a woman, your body count doesn't matter. It's not this thing that defines who you will be in your next relationship. And the men in the video were basically chiming back at her and shooting some interesting facts or some interesting stats they pulled up on psychology.com, some shit like that, right? And basically what they were saying was that women, and this is really what I want to get to before we talk about body count and all that. You're a woman, so you could tell me this. So they were saying that when a woman has sex with a man, it's an emotional experience, which is different than men. When men have sex with women, it's just a physical experience. But with women, there's always some type of residual emotion that's given off. Is that true?
That is so fucking false. That is the most ego thing I have ever fucking heard. Women are just emotional like that. There's been plenty of times where I've had guys come over and as soon as we're done, get the fuck out of my house. That's all I wanted to hear for. That's it. It's this guys do the same shit. People do it in general.
Yeah.
It's dumb to put a gender on it.
Because I keep hearing this thing pop up all the time. Like, this wasn't the first conversation I heard like this, basically where they're saying it's like a stain that's left on women. Like if they have sex with somebody, that man has left an emotional stain on her, right? So when she gets into another relationship with another man, she's still carrying that emotion that she had from the other guy, whether it was love or some, but she's carrying some type of emotional baggage into her previous relationship. So just to play devil's advocate just a little bit, and I just want to be clear, I too think it's bullshit. I do, but I'm just going to push back just a little bit. Okay. Has there ever been an experience where you've had a sexual encounter with a man that you enjoyed and that person still holds some type of place in your life?
Place in my life? No.
Yeah, no?
I don't talk to any of the people that I have hooked up with in the past.
Yeah. I'll say as a man, I have. And that's why I think it is bullshit. Not saying now, but I would say the people who I've had sexual encounters, and I think this is also too where me and you really differ, because we've talked about before on this podcast, you feel comfortable having sex leisurely, right? As a leisure thing. I'm not saying you just out there people in there. I'm
Casually just saying, is the better term.
Casually is different than leisurely. It's the same shit, right?
I don't know. You leisurely just it makes it sound like I'm just laying out there waiting to get some dick, and that's not even the fucking case.
Okay, hey, I didn't mean to.
You just leisurely lay down. No, casual. It's casual sex.
Doesn't leisure mean a fun activity? Like when you go out there and do a leisure activity, you're playing a sport or some shit. So I don't know. That's all.
No.
Sex is not fun. You don't have, you didn't.
Oh, that's not what you just said.
But that's what leisure means. That's why I'm connecting it that way.
Okay, your term is, anyways, I don't like your term.
It just makes it sound too...
I like casual better.
It just makes it sound too hoish.
I had my phase, and I'm glad I had my phase. I feel like everyone should have a phase where they experiment and have fun. But I don't like leisure.
Yeah, and I've had that phase, but it still was one of those things where I had to like the person. I could not just have sex with somebody who I didn't enjoy the type of person they were. You know what I mean? Like I just was never that guy. Like I always felt like, I don't know.
It's not like I would have strangers over at my house.
Right. I'm not
But
saying
but
that.
it's like, yeah, I have to at least have a conversation with you a little bit because that's how you get to it. Because like the culture is like hookup. So it's like you talk for a little bit, and once you get it, it's kind of just like, hey, are you awake?
Right.
And it's kind of like it turns into that. I've never just had like random people over at my house.
I'm not saying that. So like, okay, for example, so the one and only time that I ever been on Tinder. Now I wasn't, truthfully, and a lot of people probably don't believe me, but truthfully, I was not on there to hook up. But let's say if I was, right? Let's say like the type of person I am. Now, if I have certain intentions, once we get to a place where I feel like, you know, we could be open with each other and not be judged and all that shit, like, yeah, I'll be very open about my intentions. But I'm just not the type of person where I can like go into a social setting and announce that I'm looking for, you know, like sex. Like if I met a girl like on Tinder and hit her up like, hey, I'm just here to fuck. Like that just doesn't feel right with me, right? But I know like there are some people in this culture who are comfortable with that. Mm-hmm. You know, like they can like go on Tinder and say that like, hey, I'm just looking for sex. And the other person goes, yeah, me too. And then they meet up and have dinner and then fuck. And I just can't, I don't operate that way at all. I actually have to have some type of emotional attachment. So in the past, I've had sex with women and we didn't talk for a while. But then once that person pops back up again, like it's like, oh, hey, that's so-and-so, you know, like there's like that little ember that's still there. You know, I'm not saying like there's like a burning passion for that person, or not even saying like
it's just past thoughts.
Yeah, it's not even saying like I even really, really, really like that person. But there was still like some residual emotion. And I think that's like what these guys are talking about, except for I just don't believe that it is something that it's only for men or women. I think depending on the type of person you are, you know, because like if I went into a relationship, right, and I'm talking about me personally, if I went into a relationship and I just basically got done with my fucking, you know, hoe phase, right, and one of my hoes hit me up, I don't know how ready I would be for that relationship that I'm in.
Oh, blocked.
I see. But
see, that's easy. That's
different.
easy for me. That's easy for me. Even if there was emotional attachment, I'm with someone else.
Yeah.
At point, period, blank. At the end of the day, when I'm single, I do what I want and have crossed boundaries and, you know, been not always the most innocent person. But like when I'm in a relationship, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
If someone were to hit me up, which I have had that recently, I didn't even open the message.
Yeah.
But it's just like, there's no point. There's no point at all.
Yeah. I just, you know, for myself, I like to wait till everything is gone. You know, like I've been the type of person before in the past where like, it's like one relationship after another and after another and after another. But then like my most successful relationships where there was like a good break in between everything, not just another relationship. You know, like there was a break between anytime I've shared anything with another person, you know. So that way, like when I got into that new relationship, like that's how me and Jasmine were. Like, you know, when I got with her, it was quite some time before I had anything else with anybody else. You know, there was like a good little gap in between there. So even if one of those people wanted to pop up, which they did, it was like, oh, I have no interest or no curiosity or no nothing, you know.
See, it sounds like you are the emotion, like when there's what they're saying about women being an emotional attachment, it sounds like you kind of have that.
Yeah, I'm not a friends with benefits type of guy. Like I've never been successful. Like I've never been able to do that successfully, and it's not always because like I develop feelings. Personally, my personal belief is I don't think that anybody can successfully do that. I think there's always an expiration date with. And I hate that term, friends with benefits, but I think there's always an expiration date with a fuck buddy. You know, like you don't?
No.
You think people can be fuck buddies forever and there'll never be a moment where something gets connected.
No, I believe that, but I don't believe all fuck buddies. I've seen I have friends who were fuck buddies and now they're in healthy relationships with each other. I mean, more happen
that's
than
what
not.
that's what I'm saying. Expiration date. Like what I mean by that, I'm not saying like they're fuck buddies and then all of a sudden they no longer talk to each other and they hate each other because someone developed feelings. I'm talking about. I think there's an expiration date for how long you could fuck with somebody before you develop feelings. I think there's like a timeline.
See, I would kind of consider friends with benefits like a type of dating. It's like an motionless dating.
Okay.
If you think about it like that. So, I mean, it's just a stage of dating. Not everyone has that stage, but I mean, to me, in my head, making sense. Like it sounds like a stage of dating.
Okay.
Because like some people will get to know each other emotionally first. Some people that are more physical might get to know them physically and then be like, okay, I like this. I want to get to know the person. It's just like they do it reversed. So for me, I feel like that would be, yeah.
So let me ask you this then. Let's dig in on that.
Okay.
Do the same rules apply? Okay. You start dating somebody in the traditional sense. Okay. It's an emotional thing. Mm-hmm. And unless you tell the other person, the understanding is that you guys are investing in each other. At least that's the way I do it. Like, unless the other person tells me that, hey, while we're dating, I'm still keeping my option open. Cool. Then at that point, my understanding is we're keeping our options open. But like when I start dating a person, like I'm only one person. That's just the way I am. So do those same rules apply with fuck buddies? Like, is it like this thing where if you have a fuck buddy, you're technically dating according to what you said? Do you only have to have one fuck buddy? Or is it expected that they are the only one?
Nothing's ever official until it's said, in my eyes. So you could be talking to someone and you never know. And creating those what if scenarios in your head are absolutely horrible. So you kind of just like take it day by day, unless it's said. With fuck buddies, the emotion's not there. So they may not get jealous if they're fucking with other people, and then they might come to realize, oh, they like that person sexually more and want to get to know them. And then they would establish that, hey, I want to go deeper into this.
But is it okay? So is it a like I don't want to hurt the other person thing? Because like for me, the reason why if I start dating a person, that's the only person is not like I don't want to hurt their feelings. It's a respect thing. But then it's also too like I understand like you can't put your eggs all in different baskets and then like expect like like the best result. I don't know. Like I feel like
dating is not singular. You do that because of how you like feel respect and everything, and you don't want to like hurt the other person's feelings. But when you're dating,
I just want to make them feel respected. Mostly, I mean, if they said, like, I feel like it's a thing where it needs to be announced that we are, like,
exclusive.
No, the opposite for me. Like if I start dating somebody, I look at it as, okay, I'm only dating you. But like if the other person makes it clear that, we're keeping our options open, then at that point, respectfully, now I know. Respectfully, now I know, shit, I could play the field just like you're playing the field. But otherwise, the expectation is like, I'm only talking to you. That's the way I go into it. So like for you, it's the opposite, right? Like if you start dating somebody, you're still playing the field. And that's the expectation, is that we're both still playing the field until we announce some type of exclusivity, right?
When I date, if I really like the person, I will talk to them until it's like official. I'm kind of like the same way you are, but I feel like I just lost my fucking train of thought. What was your last sentence you just said? I can't believe it just said that.
You're not exclusive until the other person announces, or until like you announce.
Okay, yeah. So I feel like it's more normal for people to date multiple people, and I feel like we're the abnormal as far as like when we dating one person. But I do believe the normality or the normalness, whatever the word is, it's more people date. They date multiple people until you become in a relationship. Because the next stage after dating would be a relationship. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Boyfriend or girlfriend or partner, whatever. And
okay. So let me ask you this then. Do you think that now I don't have like numbers in front of me and all that. Like, so I don't know, like, and I highly doubt they really even done like real studies on this type of stuff. Where
statistics are so weird because I feel like people can just pull those out of their ass to prove their point.
well, I'm talking about like legit studies. Like I wonder if like today there are more breakups than there were in the past. You know, like I wonder like if there's more relationships that are developed where they never, you know, actually.
Oh my God, yeah, that's why everyone complains on social media about lonely and single and horrible breakups and shit.
Right.
And there's more people in the world, so there's gonna be more breakups.
Yeah, I personally think that it's all kind of like a trickle effect, right? And like, I'm not like this show is not like a like a Bible based or spiritual show like that.
I'm not.
But one thing I will credit to like religion for me. So a lot of you guys don't know, but I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, and in the Jehovah's Witness religion, dating is you're not supposed to date until you're at an age to where you can get married, because the way it's looked at in the Jehovah's Witness religion is that dating and being a boyfriend or girlfriend is a trial for marriage. It's basically you are dating that person because you see that person as a suitable partner for you to get married to. Now, I broke those rules. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I dated a lot, and especially in high school. But I did kind of still look at it that way. Like in high school, I didn't date serious, right? But it was like, let me date as much as possible so that way I can learn about what I need to be the best partner for the person that I am going to marry, or, you know, to be the best partner for that relationship that could lead to marriage at the time where I can get married. I think a lot of couples don't take relationships that serious, right? Like, and even dating is
they want
like
the companionship over like the commitment.
Correct. That's spot on. That's exactly it. A lot of people these days, they only date for companionship, right? And that's why, like, you know, they'll still play the field even though they're talking to someone serious until they become an exclusive thing, you know, because like now they have all these companions, right? And then until that person wants to nail it down, then now like, all right, cool. Let's now turn on the serious gear. And that's just not how it works. You know what I mean? Like you just can't like turn that switch on and off. Like I feel like if you want somebody right then and there, like you kind of have to like treat it as, all right, this dating is the trial for an exclusive relationship.
People don't court anymore.
They don't.
People don't court.
They don't.
But part of it too is people make it very easy to act like, I'm not saying access is sexually, I'm saying access like relationship wise. People make it very easy for people to access their emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
They don't let people try hard or anything like that.
I mean, that's the way everything is in this, you know, day and age. And I'll tell you shit on it because like I'm a part of that. But everything is available now.
Yeah, you know, it's like instant.
Because of social media, you know, like there's like, I remember as a kid fucking putting on mad game, trying to get that fucking, you know, underwear photo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I had to like work tooth and nail, say everything in the fucking book, you know, just sitting there, just spitting mad game. And then boom, I get a photo of her in the bra and I'm like, oh, yeah. Like now that shit is all over. Like I've seen all these bitches. Like I've seen, like, it's not even hard no more, you know? So like, it's just, everything is just so accessible. Everything is just so just like, and I think.
It's like DoorDash.
I think.
It's just there.
I think you have to have things that are special, you know, like you have to have things that like, I don't know, like you can point to and go, you know, that's mine, you know, like, or that's for me, you know, you don't get what I'm saying?
Like that person?
Yeah. Like from that person, like
saying like Jody is mine.
No, like an experience is yours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, you know,
going to somewhere and reminiscing like a spot you had with somebody.
Yeah, I'll give you an example, right? Like I often don't take like, well, not often. I don't anymore because I only have one woman that I'm trying to please. But when I did date and when I did to play the field, I tried my hardest to not take women date spots that I've been to with another woman that meant something to me. You get what I'm saying? Like if I went on a date with a girl who I was in a relationship with for 3 years, the new girl, I'm not trying to take her there. And it's not like because like I'm like, you know, the feelings are still there. It's because like
when you're there, you might think about something else.
Well, it's like, no, I want like whatever experiences I share with that person, like I want it to be special. Like I want it to like mean something, you know, like I want it to leave an imprint. My wife, when we first got together, she never really traveled. So like the first year, that's really all we did. We traveled all the fucking time, you know, took her to Washington, took her, you know, to San Francisco, took her to LA, took her to, you know, the Santa Cruz, took her Monterey, took her anywhere I possibly could because I wanted to make that thing a special thing. I wanted to make that a Prentice and Jasmine type thing where let's say we did split. She could still look back on that and go, that was for me.
She is not going to know if you take someone else there.
Okay, that's right. However, what's on the internet is not special to you. You get what I'm saying? And that's what the point I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, I know.
I know I'm like going around this long loop just to get there, but like that's why I feel like the way things are on social media make it really hard for like serious relationships to really
people
bubble
just see the
like,
good stuff. They don't see the bad stuff, and relationships aren't easy. They're not easy at all.
They're not easy, but like, you know, I feel like a lot of the sentimental stuff are kind of like fading away and things are now becoming more like materialistic and physical. Like one of the things I hear most about like, you know, breakups it's like this level of entitlement. Like, you know, you need to do things for me. But like, I feel like if you have like those special moments, like you hang on to those and those things kind of outlast that last favor that they did for you. You know what I'm saying? Like there was, and I think you actually sent it to me. So there was this post where, no, you didn't. You didn't. Okay. So there was this post where this man was bragging about his wife. He was saying, she's the one. She was the one for me. I didn't have to take her to any fancy restaurants. I didn't have to take her to, all these places. All it took was good conversation.
My ass.
Well, that's what he said about his wife. And honestly, I can relate to that because that's what it was for me and Jasmine. I didn't have to take her to all these fancy things. Like Jasmine's not a materialistic person whatsoever. The thing that drove me to her was the conversations we had. And that's what we built on. We built it on a great friendship. Like I can besides just, her being my wife, she is my one of my best friends. And I feel like a lot of relationships are kind of like missing that. They flamed this guy. They did. I mean, not only did they flame him, but they flamed her. They basically were saying that
she has no standards. She just settles for anything.
That's what they said.
That's because that's the first thing I thought of, bitch. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Wait. That's how you feel? You really feel that way?
I feel like in a relationship, you should do stuff together. It's not just conversation. It's more than that. Taking each other places, doing special things together doesn't have to be expensive. I didn't say fancy. I'm just saying going to do stuff.
He didn't say.
So he just sat at home all day and talked to her on the couch?
He didn't say that he didn't take her anywhere. He's talking about this lavish lifestyle that all these women want. She didn't make him feel like he had to lavish up their lives. Like he didn't have to do all those things to win her over. He didn't have to give her materialistic things just to make her love him. And I feel like that is truthfully the issue with today's relationships is, like I said, there's this entitlement. There's no wholesomeness. There's like the sentimental stuff is gone. It's now about favors. It's now about what is the last thing you done for me? It's like sales, right? It's like, okay. So in the sales industry, you can have a month where you crush it. You could have a year where you fucking are the top salesperson, but the following month, if you go below numbers, they'll put you on a performance improvement plan, a PIP, right? You're basically almost out the door at that point. It's a what have you done for me lately type of business. And that's the way people are treating their relationships. It's what have you done for me lately and not what the whole picture looks like. I credit that guy, for posting that. And I credit her too for being a good woman, because that's truthfully, that's a moralistic relationship. That's a relationship that could blossom into more stuff, right? Because if their relationship has that level of foundation that is built on, it can only go up from there, right? But like if
he better buy her something after that fucking post. That's all I'm saying. He better do something nice for her.
Why? Why does he better buy her something after that post?
You just should. You should want to do that for your partner. Whether they make you feel like they should do it or not, you should want to do that for your partner.
I don't think he doesn't want to. I think he probably wants to more.
It doesn't sound like it. That's not what I got from it. It sounds like it was an easy way out. She's fine with this and we're good.
He was actually bragging about the fact that his wife is not a materialistic woman. If I was, which I am, I am married to a woman like that. And because I want to give her everything. But if I was like with a girl or a woman who like was demanding all this shit, like, I'm sorry, like you can go. Like you're not going to
There's a difference between demanding it and just doing it for your partner.
Right. But you think of it like a child. And I know what you're saying, but it's one comes before the other. Okay, you don't get the luxury. Like you don't get the luxury because you wanted the luxury. That's not how it works for most people. That's entitlement, right? He's bragging about the fact that she didn't need all this stuff, but she is now a married woman because of it. And guess what? I'm sure he's probably given her the world. I'm sure he's probably given her more than what she was expecting. But that is why, because it's more than what she was expecting. These women have these high expectations, not just women, actually a lot of people, even men. Some men have these crazy, ridiculous standards, like your body count and shit like that. But like still, you can't have, like you have these expectations that are so high and you think that you deserve so much when really you get what you deserve. When you start have this like overinflated sense of like what you're entitled to, typically you always end up with less. Your what you get will always be outpaced by your expectations. People need to lower their expectations. People think that because they look good, that's a skill set and they deserve XYZ because of it. And that's just, sorry, sweetie, that's just not how it works. There's billions of beautiful women out in the world. There's billions of smart women too. There's a few rich men. Few. So lower your standards to what's available to you, to what your options are. Because everyone's going for the rich guy. There's only so many ball players out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's only so many guys who can give you what you think you deserve and what you think you should be expecting out of relationships. You know, like, I was thinking about this the other day, and I know I'm like really going on this long tangent. One of the things I think really became the issue was like the pop-ups of all these different reality shows, right? Like growing up, we had like reality shows like The Real World and
Jersey Shore was like in high school for me. I love Jersey Shore.
Well, like there was like all these reality shows where they took like real people and they put them like in situations and you got to kind of see how they would fucking do. And then like Kim Kardashian has a sex tape and then she comes out with her own show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which kudos to her. She's, done well for herself. And then you have, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then you have,
love that show.
I'm not saying you shouldn't love it. I'm not saying
drama.
I'm not saying that's the issue. But what I'm saying is all these new reality shows have popped up, and you know who are in these reality shows? Rich people. Mm-hmm. Rich people, right? So everyone's watching these reality shows full of rich people, and a lot of times they're getting this overinflated sense of that's what my life should look like. I want to be like that. I want to live like that. If I don't live like that, my life is a failure, right? If I'm dating, the husky guy who works at a factory, but he treats me good, that's a failure. I should be with the guy who looks like this, or I should be the guy who drives this car, or I should be the guy who has
That's
this
just
career.
being shallow. There's shallow people everywhere.
Right. But I think, and this is just a wild ass theory, it's like a conspiracy theory, I guess. I just feel like a lot of people base what they desire based on what they see on TV. Right? Because they see these lavish lifestyles, a lot of people think that they deserve it just because of the way that they look. Right? Like, oh shit, like I look like Kim Kardashian, I should have a life like that.
But the thing is, it's realistic for people to do that. They can if they put in the work.
Wait, they can do what?
Have a good lifestyle. If you put in the work, you can.
Okay. Elaborate.
I don't know what else there is to elaborate on.
So you're saying that everyone could kind of live like that if they just put in the work?
They could live a lavish lifestyle.
Okay. Sorry, internet, but I disagree. I think I know. I think that in some cases, and we talked about this before, like on episode 15 or something like that, there's an element of luck that needs to take place. And I didn't finish the statement, but what luck is when preparation meets opportunity, right? If I stay prepared, when an opportunity comes my way, I jump on it, and you call that lucky, okay? If an opportunity is not swinging your way, you could work hella hard, but that won't get you there sometimes. And honestly, that is one of the harshest realities of life. I could put in an extreme amount of work to become a better basketball player. I could. There's tons of highly skilled basketball players who are not in the NBA. And it's because there's only so many slots, which means there's only so many opportunities that are available to be given out, right? Money is one of those things as well. In order to sell a product, you have to have buyers. And, majority of the buyers out there in the world, they're not rich. The people who spend the most money are poor people, right? So if I have a product that I'm trying to peddle or I'm trying to sell, I have to reach a certain or large enough demographic of poor people. But if all these people are hardworking and they become rich, who am I selling my product to then?
Rich people don't buy stuff?
Not like poor people do. Not. And you can look, and this is a statistic that you can't look up. It's and this is one of the things that kind of breaks my heart, really, because, and it's not just this thing, right? So like when you look at like Black communities, especially like impoverished Black communities, there's a lot of money that comes out of those communities, especially when someone is given a certain level amount of income, right? Well, like one of the arguments that people make, which I do believe that there should be, what's the word I'm looking for? The 40 acres and a mule, right? Like reparations. There we go. There should be reparations. But one of the arguments that people make is like, well, if we give them reparations, they're just going to blow the money on bullshit anyways. And they're probably right. How many times have you seen a Tesla driving down an apartment complex? There's like 5 in my complex. Beamers, fucking a G-Wagon. You know how expensive a G-Wagon is? But you live in an apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times in poor communities, they spend money because there's less financial education. It's really not their fault. They're not teaching us in school how to fucking save and buy a house. They're not. Right? They're not teaching us about the importance of a 401k. I saw the dumbest video today. She was like, oh, you got a 401k? Well, guess what I got? I have 400 vacations. Oh, okay. But when you turn 60 years old, how are you going to fucking retire?
Maybe they don't plan to live that long. It's not like go all their vacations. They're going to die at one of those vacations.
I guess not. But what I'm saying is like, there's just not enough financial information. There's not a whole lot of opportunities out there. You do have to have, to some degree, you have to get lucky. I as much as I want to work hard to play basketball, I wasn't born 6'9". There's going to be a lot of guys who are in front of me all the time. So yeah, I don't believe that based on your looks or based on how hard you work, you're going to live a life like Kim Kardashian. That's why there's only a finite numbers of billionaires in the world. She's one of them. Not everyone's going to live that lifestyle, you know? And that's why, like, I think people just kind of have to come back to earth a little bit and really be fair and honest about where their expectations should be. You know, the psychology of like the like button is a big thing. You know, you post a photo of your ass on Instagram and it gets a whole bunch of likes and you get this not you, but people would get this overinflated sense of how important they are to the world. Really, they're not that important.
Why does it matter though? Like, why do you have to crush their dreams?
I'm not crushing
Like, you sound like if someone likes getting likes and it matters to them, why is that such a problem?
Keep doing that. No, I'm not. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying stop posting photos or whatever. Like, if that's what you fucking like, then that's what you like. What I'm talking about is your expectations on what you deserve. That's what I'm talking about. Because the two they don't go together. Just because you have more likes does not mean you deserve a high income earning entrepreneurial man. That doesn't mean that. They're not in the same thing.
I don't know.
And
I don't know
a lot
about
of people,
that one. A lot of the entrepreneur husbands want the trophy wife. So
yeah, and there's, you know how many of those guys that are out there? See, once again, like that's once again, we're talking about luck, right? There's these entrepreneurial guys out there who are high income earners. You know, they're the 10% of the population. They're 10 percenters, right? So those 10% men have options. You know how many options they have? All those beautiful women out there, but they pick one or two, maybe. If you find two girls who are okay with having a harem, but you pick one. That's it. All those other girls, whoop, you're left with whatever you got left, the 90%. And that's what most women are going to get. They're going to get the 90%. And you have to be okay with that because that 90% is still good. You know, like there's still that guy, like I said, who's working at the factory, who's a little husky, but he's going to love the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to be there. He's going to actually help you out in the kitchen. He's going to help you raise the kids. He's going to drive them to school. He's going to be at the parent teacher conferences. He's going to love the shit out of you. And a lot of women are missing out on that guy.
I agree with that. They put them in the friend zone a lot of time.
They're missing out on that guy.
Hold on. We totally strayed away from the topic because I wanted to bring a point up.
Go ahead.
Okay. Going back to what you said about the guy saying about women having like a high body count, how it leaves like an emotional stain or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like with dating, when you're dating somebody, you have to learn what you like and don't like with dating, and you have to have this experience.
Right.
So it's kind of crazy to me that they would say something like that, because it's like you have to have that experience and stuff to go into a relationship to know like how to be a good partner and what to do and what not to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's just weird that they would use that as an example. I didn't really like that. I don't agree with them at fucking all because it literally makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me at all why it's so different for a woman than a man. They're not a woman. They don't know what goes through our head and vice versa. For them to just make this like assumption, like they know.
Yeah.
They can kiss my ass. Like for real. Like that's ridiculous.
I agree. A lot of these a lot of these opinions are like from men. You know what I mean? Like men talking about how a woman's body works. And then, to your point, like they've never actually been a woman before in their fucking lives.
It's just really dumb. It's so stupid.
It is for sure. And like, I think they use this also too as an argument. So, men and women are different. There are things that are important to women that are, different for men. Right. And like me and my wife were just talking about this stuff. Like, we talk about these topics every now and again. And I think you actually sent me another video where it was basically where they said like the sex experience for men is different for women. And I completely agree with that. I think
men will always finish. Women don't always get the goal.
Right. And I also think that, I think a lot of cases women have sex for pleasure Right.
So men don't.
For me, I do, but it's actually not the number one goal. And I think it's because as a man, we kind of get jaded because typically we're going to get pleasure. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you have sex with somebody as a man, 9 times out of 10, you are going to reach climax. You are going to come. It's not that hard for us to get pleasured. So, like, for us, sex has a bigger role than just pleasure. Like, sex makes us feel important. Sex makes us feel like dominant. It makes us feel alpha. It makes us feel good about ourselves, right? That's why, like, for men, there's always like that,
It's an ego thing.
yeah, there's always like that,
I slept with this bitch last night, and I slept with Casey last week.
right.
Blah, blah, blah.
And then the size shit, like, truthfully, like, I mean, I've, from a very, very, very small amount of women make like penis size this big deal. Really, truthfully, there's not like a big, like, it's not the whole female community out there talking about size matters. A lot of them are saying it doesn't, and I do believe them.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
Size doesn't matter.
I do
It's how
believe
you
them. I think
use
it
your
matters.
tool.
I think it matters more to men about their size than it does.
Because it's an ego thing, because they think if they're not big enough or their partner has been with someone who's big, that they're not going to perform as good. And it's not about that. I could fuck 3 guys with the same size dick, and each experience is going to be different.
Yeah, or you can.
One was going to be good. One will probably be bad. One will be the best out of all 3. So it doesn't matter about the size.
Right.
It's like the
but then there's
motion of
also
the ocean.
that thing too, like where you could have sex with 3 guys, and the guy with the biggest went first, and if you tell the second guy that, hey, Jamal,
I don't know why you would be telling the second guy in the first place.
I'm just saying, but if you did, the second guy is going to go into it super nervous. He's going to go into it super
that sounds like
scared about his performance because of the fact that the other person was bigger than he is. I think it's more of a man thing than a woman thing.
That sounds like more of like a woman doing it to get a rise out of a guy, because there is no right reason if you wouldn't tell the person, hey, I just slept with, what did you say, Jamal last week.
No,
you wouldn't.
You don't.
You
don't. I'm just using this as an example.
I know, but I'm saying that sounds like a person who gets off on like
hurting men,
being petty,
crushing
being
men's
the dominatrix like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Are you crying? Get on your knees.
That type of shit.
Smack.
Yeah, like I think like men. The reason why they place all these like standards or rules or whatever on women's sex life, I think part of it is a shield for their own insecurities.
It's like a mirror into themselves.
Yeah, it's like, hey, she had sex with 15 dudes. One of those dudes was packing heat. And I now have to compete with that.
It doesn't matter, motherfucker. I am with you right now. It doesn't matter about my past.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter. As long as I don't have an STD at the end of this, like when that's permanent, you shouldn't have to know really about my past. If my partner asks, I will be honest, but it's not something, you just have to be upfront about.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have, I guess I would be like a personal, like an internal diary of like stuff you want to keep to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then go second one. Can we let's go to the next topic?
Yeah, let's do one more topic and then we'll do truth or not. Now, and this one was interesting. I want to know what your take on it because you sent it to me. Once again, fight language. No, we got to talk about...
No, because I feel like that's going to be a long one.
Fight languages?
We've already been talking for almost an hour.
Fine.
We'll save that for next week.
Whatever, guys. Next week, you'll hear about fight languages.
Because I feel like that will take us a long time.
We're going to ask, what is the biggest turnoff that a guy can do?
Lie. Biggest turnoff is just when a guy lies. They have to treat the person nice, like treat people nice around them. I feel like that's a generic answer, but like,
no,
just don't lie to me.
Basic.
It's a basic one. And like the video I saw, that was her response, and I was like, oh, I agree with that.
Oh my God.
What?
What was your before her video? What were you thinking?
Well, I mean, I saw her video.
If you hadn't seen the video, what would you have said?
Biggest turnoff?
Yeah.
If you don't have a job and you live with your parents, that's a big turnoff for me. I've dated someone like that. He ended up having to he had to move in quickly because of his situation when we first started dating, and it rushed everything. But it's like I had to take care of him because of that situation. That's a big ass turnoff. You're a grown ass man. He was like 6 years older than me. He should have been able to take care of his fucking self.
Right.
So that's a big. Actually, you know what? Then let's do this. A turnoff is like a guy who can't take care of himself, and I don't mean like hygienic. I mean just like life.
Like it's a fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some good shit. Like, can't keep a job type shit.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
That is the fucking worst. Same guy. Couldn't keep a fucking job. He would work there a couple months and then he would quit. He would just come up with these bullshit excuses. Why? Oh, I didn't like the way the manager talked to me, or I don't blah, 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 blah. Oh, they changed my shifts, and he would just stop going to work.
Oh, yeah. That's a child.
It's a child.
Yeah. I mean, there's countless people out there who don't like their job or, have like a hard time at it and still fucking go to work. That's just that's like basic adulting. Yeah.
It's just, it was horrible. It's like, I didn't give birth to you. I'm not taking care of you.
Yeah.
Not saying he has to take care of me.
Like I said,
it's like it wasn't equal effort into the relationship, and that was a problem.
Like I said, as a child, as someone who still wants to be taken care of, like they still want you probably have to do, like all the dishes and all that shit.
Actually, he was good at that. I would have to drive him down every morning from where I lived down to South Sac at like 4:30 in the morning for work. Because he lived with me at the time. He didn't have a car for like the first year and a half.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, and I warned you. What'd I tell you?
Whatever.
You're like, oh, I think I like the person. I was like, Megan, okay in a relationship until this person get a job in a car. And you were like, well, I think he's a man. Like, okay, do this shit then. And then look at you.
Look at me. I'm glad that whole shit happened because I got myself like a knight in shining armor. I love him. Okay, you're getting me all right up.
Okay. For me, biggest turnoff is pretty simple. Mean-spirited negativity. Yeah.
So, like someone who's pessimistic? Pessimism? That's the word, right?
Yeah. Pessimistic. My wife will get mad at me, but I won't say that anyway. My wife is pessimistic, but she's not negative. And the difference is my wife is concerned about everything, but because she's always concerned, she prepares.
She just sounds more realistic to me.
No, she kind of expects, she prepares for the worst. Mm-hmm. And that to me is kind of what pessimism is. Pessimism is you're optimism was where you think everything is always going to go good. And I think optimism is fraud as well. I think you should have a certain level of optimism, but I think complete optimism is fucking carelessness, right? Pessimism is where you're expecting the worst, so you prepare for it. And, my wife saves money because of it. We have an emergency fund just in case some shit happens. My wife's always stocking up on stuff. It could be 100 degrees and she'll still bring a jacket just in case. And sometimes I have to save our asses, But what I mean by negative is where they have a negative outlook on their life, and there's only a certain few people, in my life, there's only few people who are I give them permission to be negative because I care about them. And we could talk about that shit. But if I'm dating somebody and you start being negative, nah, that's a turnoff because now I'm adding baggage to my life that wasn't there already. And then mean-spirited, once again, we talked about the golden rules, really important to me. It is treat others how you want to be treated. That's it. I'm going to treat you and I expect the same level of treatment. If I treat you like shit and you treat me like shit and you call me out on it, I can't say nothing about that. I can't, but I'm not going to treat you like shit. And I'm not going to watch you treat others like shit. So those are my biggest turn-offs.
That makes sense. That's a good one. Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yeah, see? That was short and simple.
See?
Let's go ahead and get into truth or nah.
I love these. These are my favorite.
Yeah, we haven't heard bartender a whole lot this episode. But,
he's over there.
He's been busy serving out drinks for everybody while we drink on water.
Up the bar and
it's because we're drinking on water today. He's not paying attention to us.
Yeah, you guys are not real customers.
Because we're not tipping.
Got people to serve. All right, what do we have here? Y'all ready?
Yes.
Always.
Dudes be in a relationship looking for a relationship. And then someone replied to him, "You shop for shoes barefooted?"
Ooh, that's kind of some heat.
I don't get it.
What?
Bartender, repeat it.
It's dudes be in relationships looking for relationships.
Oh.
And then the guy replied, "Do you shop for shoes barefooted?"
Pretty good. I like it.
Okay. That's really
that's some heat, but
funny. It's wrong. It's a wrong joke. It's totally wrong. I don't agree with it. I like dark humor. That is hilarious. But okay, I agree with it because it's true. Not every guy, but it does happen, and it happens a lot. So I would say that's true, but not.
I think everybody does it.
But okay, the statement is men.
I
Okay,
know.
we need to stop doing that. The statement is men, so we're going to be talking about
I'm
men.
going to say true because everybody does it. Men do it, women do it. I think everybody. There. Fuck, I can't remember what movie it's from. But basically, you know what they call it, cancer. Like your cancer wife or something like that. Like if your wife died of cancer, everyone has like that person who they will go to next if they got divorced. I think it was fucking Horrible Bosses.
My parents have had that conversation.
It might have been.
That's a real
But
thing.
like I feel like everybody in the back of their mind has like, all right, if this relationship drops, there's like a person that's on the bench that I can go to. Now, not saying that it's like, you looking for another relationship. But I do think people have that person. I think everybody knows, like, all right, if this happens, I'm running right over there.
My shelf is empty.
My shit is
Me and
in.
Jody break up. Depressed.
Oh,
Depression.
I know exactly who mine is. Madison Pettis.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Madison Pettis is?
Dropping names and everything.
I'm bad with names.
I'm hopping right into a celebrity's DM.
Oh,
I'm shooting
okay.
my shot.
Might as well,
Fucking-
right?
Going, what was it? Chloe Bailey? Her too.
She's okay. I know who that is. She's pretty fine. She's pretty.
Hey, Gunn is locked up. He ain't coming back. I'm joking.
You about to get yourself fucking
I'm
shot,
fucking
bro.
joking.
Oh, that is hilarious.
I'm joking.
Okay, so
I know I ain't got no fucking. I ain't got no shot, but.
The way you talk about yourself over here, Mister.
Oh, yeah.
I could pull any bitch.
No, I just said life ain't fair. So I know life ain't fair.
Okay,
I know I look better than Gunna, but I ain't got Gunna money, so that's the only reason why.
Prentice in the middle over here.
All right.
I would say that's fact.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
All right, next.
All right. Everybody wants a good woman until that good woman requires you to be a good man.
Facts. True. I feel like that's true.
I think, here we go. I think that a lot of women think that they're better than they are. I think
a lot of women bring stuff to the table that men don't realize.
Ooh, I also think that a lot of women make really shitty choices in their men.
People make shitty choices in general. Men make just as stupid
No, I'm
fucking
saying
choices.
in their men. So, I mean, yes, there are men out there. Absolutely. It is true. But I think women need to take more accountability over their choices of men. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones with all the options typically. Right?
They're not always good options. Why do you make it sound like having so many options is always a good thing?
I think that...
Do you know how many options I had after my last breakup? And I didn't want none of them. And I was still sad just as a person who didn't have any options.
God, I'm trying my hardest not to get canceled, but fuck it.
We'll cut it if anything.
I'm a small fry. They're not gonna fucking. I can't get canceled because I'm not a person. So
tonight on the nightly news, happy hour gets canceled.
Yeah, right. Who the fuck is happy hour? Here, look. A lot of people have like this standard or this thing that they go for, right? And I'm not trying to stereotype people, but you are a product of your environment. And I do think a lot of women go after guys from particular environments that warrant a particular lifestyle. And
you're doing really good so far.
I'm doing a good job
Green
being
light.
PC. And sometimes they think that they are exempt from being casualties to this particular lifestyle. And they're not. No one's exempt. It's that I can fix him project that a lot of these women take on. And you can't fix them. You can't.
So instead of men taking accountability, women should just be like, fuck it. Men should take accountability for their actions and be better men.
If you consider yourself a good woman, go get with a good man. They are there. They exist. They are out here. And guess what? They're in your DMs. They're your friends. They're the person who you already talked to. There's good men out there. But a lot of these women are looking for other things, and they get it. And when they get it, they become unhappy with it because it's not what they thought it was going to be. But if they ask me, the answer is, I told you so. 9 times out of 10. And I'm not saying I'm always right, but I got a pretty good track record. Just saying. You know, we were talking about the last dude. What'd I tell you? I knew exactly what you're going to get. You got it.
Okay.
I'm not saying you're a bad woman. You're a good woman, but I'm just saying, like, you got to choose the right guy.
I could say.
Go ahead. Hit me.
No, I'm not. Because I'm a good person.
You're a great person.
Yeah. I don't say shit like that on camera. First off. 2, I don't know why. It just sounds like you're putting the blame on women. Like, men should be able to take accountability when they're fucked up. Yeah, women should make better decisions and stuff. But it's like, literally what you're saying is men don't have to take accountability. Women should choose better.
Did I say that? I don't recall saying that. I said that if you are a good woman, get with a good man. They are available. That's all I said. I didn't say anything about those men not being, being good men and all that shit. Like, I just said that if you consider yourself a good woman, there are good men that are available. I do think that a lot of women make the wrong choices in the type of men that they go after. There are shitty men out there. You can spot them a mile away. They're pretty easy. It's pretty easy.
But there are good men out there as well who just don't take accountability and can't fix certain things.
Then they're not a good man. They're not a good man. If they can't fix it, then they're not a good man. If you don't have a job and you don't have a car, you're not ready for a relationship, my guy. Like that guy is not that guy can't be good to you. Like if he fucking treats his mom like shit, he treats his sisters like shit, the guy's not gonna be a good guy.
Well, you're describing a bad guy, but
I'm saying there's all these red flags. Like,
so what's your answer to this fucking truth or not then?
it is true. Yeah.
Why'd you go on this big old fucking tangent if we just agreed? It's true. I agree with it too.
I did said it was true.
Why'd you go on this long tangent just to diss me on the camera?
I said it was true, but then I also...
Bartender, are we done? I'm calling it.
No.
You're being so sassy right now?
I'm not being sassy.
So sassy.
I said it was true, and then I said, but also. That's how I started.
And that's how it starts.
I said it's true.
The apprentice train starts.
But also, women need to take more accountability in the men that they're choosing.
So do men.
Look. Okay.
Just say it.
No, hold on.
Men need to take accountability. Every time I've said that, you've said you have not said that.
No. Men need to take accountability too.
Thank you.
They both do.
Okay. We agree.
Listen. Okay. Here's the reason why. I am the man of this podcast. So I speak for men. And I speak to try to help our case. And at the end of the day, as a good guy, because I do consider myself a good man, there's a lot of other people out there that I think that are also good men. And the saying goes, good guys come in last. That shit has been true since the end of time. I'm kind of done with that shit. That's why I say women need to take accountability, because the good guys are coming last. That's your fault. We can't marry ourselves. We can. There's guys that... Never mind.
I saw a video today of this lady that married a carnival ride.
There was a video of a lady who married herself. She legally married herself.
And I think I think she divorced herself as well.
Wild. But yeah, that's why. Like, I mean, listen, I just speak. I'm our representative. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm the representative for all the men out there. I got your back. You good men out
Where's
there.
bartender with that? Oh,
Nah, she's just mad. She's just mad. But I think we have one more time. One more.
let's do one more. This is good. Yeah,
I can't end on that note. May's over here mad at me, so I gotta
bring it back.
I gotta do one that. Yeah.
All right, man. This is a more fun one anyway. All right. Long distance is hilarious because y'all know you're both cheating.
That's cap. I don't believe that's it's no. I believe there's a bunch of relationships that are long distance that can be healthy. It's all about your inner discipline. Some people may not even like long distance because they want that companionship all the time. So sometimes long distance relationship isn't for them. But there's some people that can do it. Military might be kind of a badish example to bring up, but I feel like, okay, now obviously not every military wife or whatever cheats. I mean,
these husbands out here doing the damn thing too.
I know, but I'm saying, like, I don't know. I just feel like it can work. I feel like that's cap.
I'm only going to say false just because you can't generalize shit, but from my own personal experience, every long distance relationship I've ever been in ended up with being cheated on. So that's I will never do a long distance relationship ever again for that very reason.
It takes a lot to do one. I wouldn't want to do one. I like having my personal interaction, but there's some people that are like that. Some people don't even need that. That came from outside.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think it's false just for generalization.
Yeah.
That's all. But I think that wraps it up here. All right. What do you got for us, bartender?
It's kind of a goofy one. It's kind of a boomer one too.
Uh-oh.
Are you guys familiar with Animorphs?
Oh, yeah.
You remember that old series?
It's read all those books.
I love those books. Oh my gosh.
I even watched the TV show too.
I'm so glad you guys actually know.
Holy shit.
Here we go. I think I know
Memory
a question.
lane. Right
You
there.
already know it's going.
What would we morph into?
If you were one, what would your animal be?
I'd be a raccoon. You knew I was going to say that.
A raccoon.
They're my favorite animal. They are a little vicious, just like me. But they're so cute. They're like like a perfect mix between a cat and a dog.
Okay.
And I would be one of the ones that would be lovey, so I'd find someone who would love me.
I'd be an orca.
Why would you be a whale?
I'd totally be a killer. I'm an apex predator. I don't want to fucking become. I don't want to go from an apex predator as a human being to a fucking, not an apex. Like, to a fucking like raccoons get eaten.
But in those series, they're fully okay. Hold on. In those series, no, listen. Okay, this is the question. In that series, aren't they like fully mentally aware and still have all like the human characters? Like they can think, right? They don't just
That's
they turn
the
into
worst part.
No, but it's like if they turn into a bird, it's not just a natural bird instinct. So I'm saying you're gonna be an animal and have like the human. I hate you so much. Listen to what I'm saying.
Could you imagine becoming a raccoon and a fucking wolf starts coming after you, and you get all your human emotions like, oh shit.
I would change into another animal.
They could do that. I thought they could only choose one.
It's been so long.
I think they only do one.
I'm pretty sure it's one per person. That's their their morph.
Look, we watch Shark Week. We watch, Animal Planet. And
because I want someone to love me. No one's gonna love you in the ocean.
Yeah, they do. I got options. I could do SeaWorld and get fucking fed fish
so you
whenever I
could be trapped
want.
in a little fish bowl.
Yeah, but you know what I don't get? I don't get You ever seen Attack on Titan?
Yeah, and not in a while though.
Okay. You ever see like how like the Titans like they'll like fucking eat the people and like tear them apart and shit.
Yeah.
And as a raccoon, that shit can happen to you. That can't happen to me as well. I just don't want my guts. Look. I don't want to be running from the wolves. I'm sorry.
Okay, first of all, it's not like when you morph into an animal, you also teleport. You know where you're going to transform.
Immediately, you become
So
an animal.
obviously,
You
I'm
become
not going to
prey.
go into like a wolf and habitat and transform into a raccoon.
No, but what I'm
What
saying is,
about stray dogs coming up the street?
yeah, you immediately become prey.
He's just saying the fact that you're prey. Yeah,
Like,
you could definitely be eaten by
the
something.
the
I
animal
don't fuck.
kingdom is vicious. Animals do not care if you have a family.
Raccoons are just as vicious.
Okay. What do they eat? Are raccoons carnivorous at all?
And they eat bugs.
I think they eat fish. I think that's
They
it.
do eat fish, yeah.
But
They eat trash. I mean, they'll eat whatever's in trash, so I guarantee they eat the meat that's in trash.
they don't eat foxes. Fox comes. That's a wrap.
I don't think they really
What?
hunt.
What'd you just say?
Foxes.
What did you say after that?
I said if a fox comes, that's a wrap.
Okay.
Coyotes, that's a wrap. Hawks, wrap. Eagles, big wrap. You don't even see that coming. You'll just be lottie dottie.
You're gonna
be
get
flying
you're gonna get
suddenly.
a straw stuck in your blowhole and you're gonna die.
You're just gonna be lottie dottie. I'm so cute. And that's it.
I'm gonna find a family that loves me, okay? I'm not
Be
gonna have
safe
to worry
inside.
about the outdoor things.
I'm just fucking with you.
You're
It's
gonna get a
tough for it.
straw. I'm
It's
serious.
probably
A
true.
straw and the 6-pack thing. And what else? What else do people lose?
I'm the
And a
most.
pair of sunglasses. It's gonna get stuck in your blowhole.
I'm the most feared animal in the ocean. I eat sharks.
What about the megalodon?
The orca is the apex predator. They are the most feared animal in the ocean.
Have you asked them personally? Do you know?
I've asked marine biologists.
Just
On
being a
Animal
smart
Planet.
ass. Just being a smart ass.
All
I'm
right.
tired of losing. Okay, let's call it tonight.
Oh, that's a wrap. Thank you all for watching, for listening.
Yes, thank
We
you.
missed you guys. Hopefully, this episode was a little bit lighter than our last couple. Once again, we will be going on a break in about 2 weeks. So
We have 2 more episodes after this, and that wraps up season 1. And then by that time, I'll be able to pick the winner for the Ask the Public questions, and then we will start our new season towards the holidays. And we got big ideas, guys. It's gonna be really cool.
Yep. So y'all have a good night or good morning or good day, whatever one.
Don't forget to subscribe, the notification bell, and comment. I'm new at this, right? Oh, I got those 3 down.
That's
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Cool. We out.
Bye. Are you okay, Roger?
He wants to check on what's going on out there.
Check what that noise was. Sounds like a tire blowing up.
Oh no.
It sounded right against the garage.
I thought it was something falling on my right.
I'm not going up
Go
there.
check real quick. We about to go on one side.
Lower that light, baby.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, it's a good
yeah.
one.
I mean, I can get to the door.
I'm gonna open it up. No, I mean like people are gonna. There's the stuff in those eyes. You're fucking brushing on it, making it easier.
How do you think the episode went?
Good. Had a lot of fun.
Huh?
Let's have a lot of fun.
I like this episode. You like this outfit? Is it still recording? Can I press this button?